The more people love, the happier the world will be.
Diversity is a beautiful thing. You should be lucky you have so many cultures to learn from.
We all have imperfections, and one of them isn't race.
Be blind to color and learn to accept one another. Hello, I'm Laura Castleman, and I'll be your guide throughout our production. You have just heard quotes from students of Stephen Decatur Middle School. Our topic is cultural diversity. Cultural diversity is important because it is a reality for all of us and something to celebrate. We each can make a difference in the world by accepting one another and by bringing out the best in each other. We'll now listen to Father Peter from South Africa, who has worked in the squatter camps as a teacher and a principal. He also witnessed the release of Nelson Mandela from prison. Father Peter will share his thoughts on cultural diversity.
I believe cultural diversity is gift on the one hand, and it is task. It is gift, cultural diversity being the human equivalent of the diversity within nature. The animals, from the smallest butterfly to the huge elephant, the trees, the grasses, all coming together to form a harmonious whole. Similarly with cultural diversity, I believe, each culture and each person within the culture bringing their gifts to each other, sharing these gifts with each other to form a wonderful symphony. Each note that comes into the symphony in particular order and sequence, creating something that is really exquisite. And so too cultural diversity. I believe without cultural diversity, this would really be an awful world to live in. Given the diversity, though, we are also faced with a challenge, and that is the task of cultural diversity, to bring these various elements into a harmonious whole. We cannot just put the notes on a piece of paper and hope that that will somehow sound beautiful. It has to be ordered in sequence, coming together, the various notes sharing their gifts with one another. And so too I believe in terms of cultural diversity, that various peoples from different cultures, different races, from different parts of the world all come together to form something that is God's creation, something exquisite.
Right.
Both a gift and a task. A little example of diversity. This beautiful BMW that was painted by Esther Mahlangu. It is an Ndebele pattern. They paint their houses in this kind of pattern, but the different colors, the different shapes, all come together to form a harmonious whole. And that, I think, is precisely what diversity is about, both the gift and the task, the differences, and bringing these differences together to form something of the symphony of human nature that God has created.
Throughout history, many groups have been treated as inferior by society. However, courageous people have sacrificed much, even their lives, to bring about a greater appreciation of diversity. And because of these heroes, laws have been made to recognize the dignity of each individual, whether they are handicapped, women, Native American, African American, Hispanic, or Asian American. And now for surprising statistics. The U.S. Census Bureau predicts that between 1990 and 2030, the Caucasian population will grow by 25%, the African American population will grow by 68%, the Asian American, Pacific Island American, and American Indian by 79%, and the Hispanic American by 187%. Here's something to think about. If we could shrink the entire world's population to a village of exactly 100 people, but keep the existing human ratios intact, this is what our world village would look like. 57 would be Asian, 21 would be European, 14 would be from the Western Hemisphere, North and South American, 8 would be African, 30 would be Caucasian, 70 would be unable to read, 50 would suffer from malnutrition, 80 would live in substandard housing, 70 would be non-Christian, 30 would be Christian. And only 1 out of 100 would have a college degree. When one thinks of the world from such an incredibly compressed perspective, the need for both tolerance and understanding becomes glaringly apparent. As you can see, our nation and world are changing. Celebrating diversity is synonymous with national survival and world peace.
Diversity. I believe that diversity is a part of the natural order of things, as natural as the trillion shapes and shades of the flowers of spring or leaves of autumn. I believe that diversity brings new solutions to an ever-changing environment, and that sameness is not only uninteresting, but limiting. To deny diversity is to deny life with all its richness and manifold opportunities. Thus, I affirm my citizenship in a world of diversity, and with it, the responsibility to be tolerant, live and let live, understand that those who cause no harm should not be feared, ridiculed, or harmed, even if they are different. Look for the best in others, be just in my dealings with the poor and rich, weak and strong, and whenever possible, to defend the young, the old, the frail, the defenseless. Be kind, remembering how fragile the human spirit is. Live the examined life, subjecting my motives and actions to the scrutiny of mind and heart, so to rise above prejudice and hatred. Care.